Amen. God bless you, and let's give the Lord a hand clap here in the sanctuary. Amen. You may be seated. We would like to welcome those of you that are watching us by way of the streaming network. You are in the prophetic network here through Streaming Faith. And this week we've been in a conference, and it's been a School of the Prophets, where we're dealing with the whole aspect of the prophet in training, PIT, P-I-T, signifying prophet in training. And we've been dealing with also the prophet becoming the creator, dealing with the prophetic alchemist. And we know that the role of the prophet is so vital and so important today. And it's important that we understand the role of the prophet. So we are training prophets. So this is more of a school, it's more of a gathering, not so much of a service. But I have a friend that I wanted to come to share with you today on the stream. He's a presidential candidate. He has definitely set trends. He has gone forth as a trailblazer, and he's done things that probably society would have never thought that he would have gotten this far. We remember some years ago the word of the Lord coming forth over his life, and just to see the things and the milestones that he is making and the strides that he is making, that is going to put things in a whole new perspective and at a whole nother level. So we have here with us Rev Al Sharpton, and we're going to talk a little bit about the role of the prophets in politics. Do the prophet have a place in politics? What does the Bible has to say about this? And this is a man of God that has been busy and traveling all over the world. So let's give a hand clap and let's stand and receive this man of God. Thank you. Well, Reverend Sharpton, we're glad to have you here. Now, you're just coming in from out of town?
Yes, I just came in from Los Angeles and on my way to Georgia and then back to Los Angeles. We're doing the debate on Larry King's show on Thursday night from Los Angeles. So we're back and forth.
Wow. And what is most of the debates and stuff going on now in the Canada?
Well, it's as we prepare different primaries, like next Tuesday, the 2nd of March, there'll be primaries in 10 states, and we'll deal with all of the issues from health care to education to what we believe about the war. And I try to raise perspectives that they don't necessarily deal with. They talk about world policy, but they act like the world is only one part of the world.
Yes.
Like, one of the things that I'm disturbed about is Haiti. We're seeing a lot of killing there, but no one's talking about it. Right. So I reached out today and talked to the rebel leaders and President Aristide.
Wow.
And asked if I would come there next week, would they meet and let me try to mediate some peace, because I want to see the killing stop. So I think part of the role is to do what they won't do and try to include who they won't include, because I know that if that was another nation of another color, everyone would be involved in trying to stop the killing.
Yes, amen. What are you seeing across America? Because I know now you're getting a glimpse of America, probably from a side that many of us will never see. And I mean, I've been watching little bit of time I do get in the television set. I also noticed that I was a little disturbed because I think with the New Hampshire, it was almost like they just totally ignored you. Mm-hmm. I mean, what are you seeing? What are you feeling? I mean, do you feel as though Dr. King's dream is now being fulfilled, or?
I think at some levels it is, but I think at other levels we have a long way to go. What I have found, Bishop, is that Americans are more disconnected than they are disagreeable. The man in Iowa that's a farmer really doesn't want much different from the man in Harlem in a project. They both want their children to be well educated. They both want to have the ability to make a decent living. They both don't want crime. But we played against each other. So the man in Iowa feels the reason he's not making a living is because of affirmative action. Some black or Latino has his job. And the black and Latino think the guy in Iowa was rich. And as long as people can pit each other against each other, it will be hard to fulfill the dream. I think the more that we talk, one of the good things about my running is people that would not have ever heard me or seen me, they would have only had to deal with the media image, come and hear me and say, well, you're not at all what I thought you were. That's why I did Saturday Night Live. You have to show a different side. And it begins working. I got 10% of the vote in South Carolina. No one ever thought I would beat a white 4-star general. Wesley Clark came in behind me.
Wow.
So that's Dr. King's dream.
Yes. Wow. Now, Reverend Sharpton, the role of the prophet, is the role of the prophet important in politics, and is it needed in America today? It's
imperative. If you read history and the Bible, all great rulers went and spoke to great prophets. In fact, it is only in very recent times do you not see an open relationship between the prophet or the wise man and those that run government. It is almost arrogant for people in government to think they have all the answers.
Wow.
And how did we encounter Joseph? Because the king talked to wise men and dreamers. And when his wise men couldn't answer him, he sent for Joseph, all the way through to Daniel, throughout the Bible. And how we come into modern times claim to be those that purport the Bible but don't behave that way. Our politicians and our prophets have no relationship, so the people suffer because the politicians have no vision, and the people that need the vision are not connected to the prophet that could see what is not seen by normal eye. So if you're going to lead in government, you must have a vision, not just eyesight. And you can't have vision unless you talk to someone that has the ability to tune into an unknowing eye and see what you can't see. You may have the ability to lead it, but they have to see where you have to lead it. It's almost like an athlete without a coach. You may be able to perform, but you don't have the strategy to win the game.
Wow. America's so much need a prophetic voice in this hour. Are you sensing that as you look at our government today, as you look at the situation? I mean, there's something that made you, we know what it is, we know it was the Spirit, but something made you go into this arena. How come and why now?
I think that America is thirsty for new leadership. I think that they don't know what they want, but they know they don't have what they need. And I think out of that urging, God will manifest himself in different people to do different things. Some in the political arena like I'm doing. Some I think we're going to see emerge in the entertainment world and turn that around. And some in the open religious world, because I think that we're at a crossroads everywhere where everyone is lost. Many of our stars are falling. And many of those that appear to have fallen are rising. And I think in this state of flux, it will force those that are real prophets out front, because there's nothing but confusion. Who would have thought that we would be sitting at a time not where you have the guy in the street or even an Abner Louima in trouble, but you have a Michael Jackson in trouble or Kobe Bryant in trouble. It's like everybody's turned the world upside down.
Wow.
But maybe it's being turned right side up. That's why we need prophets like you to tell us, are we looking upside down or right side up? Because we don't know what we're looking at.
Oh, my God. What do you see happening with the spiritual leadership across America?
The spiritual leadership, I think, will emerge. I think that the religious leadership, which is different, will be exposed to be bankrupt. Those that are heading the cathedrals but have no spirit. They have buildings, but they have nothing that they can give the people. And the more desperate the people get, the more lacking they will be. And they will be seeking prophets, because the time will come that they will not even know what to say on Sunday morning, because they will be so empty themselves they can't even pretend no more to have the answers.
Oh, Jesus, my God, my God, my God. Big business in America. I mean, we're seeing a whole lot with these corporations now, situation with Enron. I mean, we're hearing of things now that we've never heard before. Maybe it's always been going on. Maybe the media is just a lot more broader than what we've seen. What are you seeing in terms of big business in America or corporate? And are you seeing new things happening in leadership among entrepreneurs or people that, what you see in the business world?
I think we've seen a lot of corruption that was always there.